Hello, my name is Jose from Hapoin, and in this video, I'm going to show you how HappiBot 2.0 works. It will help you automate customer service and appointment booking through your WhatsApp. That's right, just as you heard, you'll be able to link your company's WhatsApp, the one your clients use to contact you, the one everyone knows, and through that channel, HappiBot will help you serve your clients and automate appointment bookings. And it's all done through your WhatsApp. It's the channel that you control. You'll be able to manage all the communication, view the conversations, and even jump into the chats if you want to. And well, you'll be able to see how it works, how HappiBot is working for you. This will allow you to save a huge amount of time in your daily work. It will help answer frequently asked questions. It will help manage appointments. And well, let's take a look at how it works. First of all, you obviously need to go to hapoin.com and create an account. You can do this through any of the options where we offer a free registration. You'll be able to try it out for free. Once you've registered, you'll see a dashboard like this one. And from here, you basically need to go to the options menu, integrations. And first of all, the first step is to connect your WhatsApp. Okay, as you can see, I already have mine connected, right? If you don't, you'll need to click the add option. Okay, and it has to be your own WhatsApp because we also offer a WhatsApp integration, but it's with our number. That option only works for appointment reminders. HappiBot doesn't work with it. So you have to connect your own number to get all the complete WhatsApp functionalities, both HappiBot and the reminder features. So once you integrate it and complete all the steps, it's quite simple. You don't need any kind of technical knowledge. We lay out all the steps for you. You just follow them. In total, there are 4 steps. It's just a code. You enter it into your WhatsApp and then return to this page to finalize the connection. And we also have an option to scan a QR code. But once it's integrated, you'll see something like this, right? And here you'll see the option to customize, see how it works, activate HappiBot, because you can also, you can deactivate it, right? And just use it for reminders. You control it from here. So let's go straight to the customize option so you can see a bit of how it's configured and how it works. Here you'll see 2 tabs. The first tab is for notifications, right? For appointments, because the WhatsApp integration works to automate appointment reminders so that your clients show up for their appointments and don't forget. And here you can customize all the messages that are sent, the sending times, and so on. So let's go straight to the HappiBot option, which is what we're looking at in this video. And this is where you configure all the messages that HappiBot will use to reply. This first one is the AI prompt. It's already programmed with a basic prompt as indicated here, right? Where he already takes into account the service context of your company, right? He takes all that information and based on that provides an appropriate response to your customers. But if you want to customize it a little further, you can give him more instructions here, right? True. Optionally, if you want. Then in this first section is the welcome message. That is sent when your customers type any of these words. All of that is 100% customizable. You can remove these words here, you can put in whichever ones you want, etc. But if the person types any of these words, the HappiBot responds with the welcome message. For example, welcome to the Thomas Barbershop assistant. To receive assistance, please reply with one of these or with one of these commands. One to book an appointment, another to check what appointment I have with you, etc. And you can personalize all of these to your liking. And here, each of the responses, each of the commands indicated here are personalized. You can also remove commands if you don't want them all, but hey, you can customize that later to your liking. So for example, for the backup command 1, here you configure which words you want. Configure HappiBot to respond with the reservation message. And because I have it here blank, in other words, you have 2 options. 1, place a message that, for example, includes a booking link. Within our app, we provide a booking link that you can configure so your customer can book through a calendar, etc., etc. So here you can configure it with the message and that link, but also if you leave it blank here as indicated, HappiBot has the ability to capture that reservation within WhatsApp. Okay. Without the customer having to leave the chat. So I leave it blank for that. So I basically leave it blank. And then you have to go to the restrooms, a menu of services. because here you create them. What services does it provide? And it indicates what services it offers for reservations. Okay? That's all. And the rest of the options are similar with what words do you want and what response do you want to give to each command. It's more or less the same logic. Here, for example, in this case, so that the client can check via WhatsApp what appointments they have with you. So when the person writes, for example, my quotes or number 2, it will automatically reply with this. He has, in case he has appointments. If he doesn't have an appointment, obviously he answers, hey, he doesn't have an appointment. But if he has an appointment, he says, listen, yes, he has an appointment on such and such a day at such and such a time. Well, that's also a frequent question. Your clients may forget what appointments they have with you. So, well, let's take a look at it on WhatsApp. So this is well understood. For example, here I wrote hello and the welcome message pops up. Why? Because I configured it here. In the welcome section, I configured the word hello and the welcome message pops up that I configured. Then I said, I want to book an appointment, which is a very common process that clients want. I configured the words book, appointment, as you can see they are here. So when the message contains any of those words, HappiBot directly starts offering the steps of the appointment booking process. And in the first step, it asks where you want the appointment, because in this case, I configured 3 addresses. That is configured in the menu, addresses, and hours. So you can configure as many as you want. In my case, I configured 3, but if I didn't have any, it would jump directly to step 2. But in this case, since I have several configured, it asks the client where they want the appointment. And if I offer online service, it can also be configured in that same option of addresses and hours. Okay. So select one of the options by indicating the number. The client answered 2, which was option 2 here. Then it goes to the next step with more or less the same logic. Here it asks in the next step what service you want. And that is based on the configuration I set here in the services menu. And I create them right here. And I say which service I want to offer for booking, because I can have several. Notice that I have 3, and I only offered these 2 for booking. And I also indicate if I want to show the price or not. That is very customizable. Here I indicate if I want to offer them for booking, if I want to show the price, if I don't want the price to be shown, yes, no, I configure it however I want. And based on that, HappiBot displays it here, right? Notice that it always gives the option to reply back if you want to return to the previous step, or cancel if you want to cancel the booking process. So the person, replies with the number. I want number 2, a classic haircut. And then the next step, it asks for the date. Select the date, indicating the number of your preference. And all these dates are based on the schedule you have configured in the app, right? You configure it in addresses and hours, and it also checks the availability you have based on your appointments. Because Happoint, being an appointment automation software, manages all your appointments within the app. And that's how HappiBot knows what time slots you have available, okay? To offer them to your clients for booking, okay? So in this case, he answered option 3 for the 4th. And then we'd go to the next step, which is the time. What time do you want the appointment? And it offers all the options. This is based on the slots, on the openings you have, as I said before, and the schedule you have configured, okay? So at least this way it offers, because there are bots where you can make reservations like that, but they'll just book any date, anytime. Not here. It's based on your availability, okay? And after you select the time, the last step is that it asks for the information to finalize the reservation. And in this case, it asks for the name as mandatory, as indicated here, just the name. The name is the only mandatory field, the only piece of information they must provide no matter what. The rest are optional, okay? So if the person doesn't provide the mobile number, HappiBot automatically takes it from the WhatsApp account the client is chatting from. It takes it from here. So just here, since the client commented with their name, it automatically took the number from the account they were chatting from. And then it tells them reservation made successfully, date and time, Tuesday, November 4th, 2025 at 9 a.m., which were the date and time he indicated here, right? James Brown. So if I go here to appointments for the 4th, here I have James Brown at 9. Classic haircut, James Brown, the number from which he is chatting, the 4th at 9. And here, well, is the rest of the information and fields the app has, where you can see the appointment status, what reminders were sent, and all that, right? And here I can edit the appointment, confirm it, delete it, and so on. I have full control over the appointment, right? That's basically how booking works within WhatsApp. The great thing is that the client never leaves the chat. The entire process happens right here internally, which, well, is quite convenient for many clients, right? Here, for example, I asked a test question. I said, hey, what does the haircut include? And here it answers me. HappiBot, using artificial intelligence, tells me that the haircut includes this, this, and that. So where does it get this information? Does it make it up? No. It basically takes it from what we provide here in services. So information, remember that I provided it here. So the title, description, price, and similar details are all used to provide the answer. For instance, the title gives a quick idea of what the product is. The description explains its features in more detail, and the price shows how much it costs. All of these pieces of information help the system come up with the most accurate response. So HappiBot has all that context about your business, what you offer, how much you charge, and everything, to be able to provide support through WhatsApp to your clients, and thus save you a ton of time every day, right? Okay, so these were just the test reminders that were sent out. But well, basically, this is how HappiBot works. Here I'm showing the rest a bit, how the responses are configured. Here, as you can see, there are optional commands or responses, which I can configure if I want to or not. Starting from command 3, command 3, command 4, command 5. But as you can see, the person can answer with either a number or with words. And you configure which words you want to use to provide that response you're setting up, right? And here in the response, I can provide any answers I want, whether it's a link, another number, or any message or text in response to frequently asked questions your clients usually have, basically. You configure everything under that same logic, right? Here, for example, command 6 automatically answers with the addresses and hours you have configured in addresses and hours. So, well, I want that when they write the location, where am I, hours, etc. It will automatically answer with what I configured here in addresses and hours. Command 7, the phones, is similar. If the person asks to talk to someone, etc., it automatically answers with the numbers you have configured in addresses and hours. And so on, more or less the same logic. So basically, when your client's message doesn't fit any of these words or configurations you set here, it answers with artificial intelligence. As I explained before, with the context and information of your company, services, prices, etc., right? As indicated here, it already has the context of your business. Okay, and as an extra, any extra instruction you want to give it, you can provide it here. So, well, that's basically how it works. That's all. And well, any questions or inquiries, you can ask us through our support chat. Thank you very much.